This was an interesting article by Helen Edwards. And what it said was, it explained the U curve, which I hadn't heard about. First identified by economists David Blanchflower and Andrew Oswald, who I bet were older than 30. Anyway, happiness is at the two extremes and slumps in the middle in life. 20-somethings and 70-somethings are doing okay. Their lives are giving them satisfaction. I think that's funny. Think about the stages of car ownership. Yeah, you get it. It's shiny and new. And then it's just your car. And then it's vintage. Like my car is approaching 300,000 miles. And I have to race to the emissions testing after this so that I get it done while the check engine light isn't on. Sorry, but so I take great delight in that car, and it just glides at 100 miles an hour. Don't ask me where I've driven 100 miles an hour or how often I do. Yeah, take that, you Lexus commercials. You buy those hot rod little lightweight jobs and try to drive them 100 miles an hour. They'll shake themselves to death. The first rule has to be don't make these people's lives trickier. This is really profound. I hate that it's coming at the end, okay? Brands neglect the simple things of responding to emails sent to their publishing info at addresses. Brands neglect shipping quality merchandise at value prices. Why do you think Amazon Prime is so popular? Do you think it's because they've segmented every possible person on Earth and know just what to say to them? They don't. It still says, people who bought this item also bought. There's no implication that you might buy it. It's just stuff. We thought, okay, we'll show you some more stuff. Would you like some fries with that? You know, you don't ask the person behind the counter. If they're taller than 6'3", you might want to ask, would you like jumbo fries? If they're little, you might want to ask, would you like an ice cream cone? You don't make it that complicated. You could. It might even work. But instead, McDonald's is spending $30 million on a sign company to try to guess what I want when I know what I want when I come in. If I wanted to think about the signage, I'd go to Burger King where I don't have a clue what to order, or Dairy Queen or something. Anyway, this goes on. This is great. The trend in our industry right now is for micro-targeting, but sometimes it pays to look at a mass middle section of the whole and seek to get under its skin and serve it better. Add to the sum of human happiness. Yes, that's why Amazon is so popular out there, you brands. It's because they ship decent stuff fast. It's not the lowest priced. It's not the best quality, mostly. It's kind of average stuff that you can get in a hurry with mindlessly simple processes. I've just boiled down 90% of marketing. 49% of Gen Xers, this is great, feel stalled in their career, thwarted by boomers who can't afford to retire. That's like me. I could afford to, but what fun is that? I do this every day. I look forward to it. Boomers who can't afford to retire and threatened by the prospect of leapfrogging millennials. I don't worry so much about those young people. We just talked about that. But that phrasing was great. This is great. That 49% of Gen X, I'm going to have to chop that out of here. In midlife, what I see in my Gen X patients is total exhaustion. And she's speaking especially about women. Choices don't make life easier. Possibilities create pressure. And I feel for women because I think they have been duped. I think I made my first baguettes last night. And they came out really well. I should post a picture, but it's a good picture. But, they've given up the joy of baking to take on corporate politics. It's like, you lost that deal. My wife worked at home. She didn't work outside the home while the kids were getting. And I think she got a pretty good deal. I don't know that she thinks so. She'd rather we had a bigger retirement fund. Anyway, that's enough for today. Think about old people. Target them. Talbots, they didn't like their customer persona of 60-plus women. Year old women, and they just stopped mailing, and they stopped everything, and they went after the young people. And they went bankrupt. And when the new buyer came in, they said, "Why did we stop mailing the catalog?" And everybody said, "We didn't like the persona." God help us. Have a great day. Bye bye.